Howdy y'all, Banjo Ben here with BanjoBenClark.com. Today we're going to learn an intermediate version to Old Joe Clark, this great old fiddle tune. You know, years ago I taught a super advanced version to that one. Even if you don't want to learn it, you should go listen to that. It was pretty fun. And then just a few weeks ago we did the basic version that introduced people to the fiddle tune and introduced them to down-up picking and using a capo. And today we're going to hit right in the middle. We're going to do this intermediate version. It gets a lot of our alternate picking going, a lot of string switching, melodic ideas, things of that nature. You're going to love it. You and your friends. Be sure and send it to your friend. Tell them to come to BanjoBenClark.com where I have over 500 lessons that Gold Pick members can access. Here in a little while, I'll invite you over to do that. And I'll see you there. But for now, let's just jump right into Old Joe Clark. Check out the first A part there. If you need to get a grip on this very basic melody and what the bare bone structure of Old Joe Clark is, go and check out my basic version. But essentially, the very basic melody sounds like this. And that basic melody is contained within these first four measures that sound like this. I'm sure that you can hear that there, right? So what I want you to notice is that we are including all of our basic melody notes in there. We're connecting them melodically using the G major scale for the most part. It doesn't mean that we have to play all the consecutive notes in the G major scale. It's just we're picking and choosing from those notes. And one thing I want you to keep your mind on is the alternating pick strokes. So on downbeats, I'd like for you to do down arrows. That's what you see those little black arrows means. And then for upbeats, backbeats, for the ands, we're going to play upstrokes. So the first measure sounds like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. And the reason why you have two downstrokes there on those open strings is because both of those are landing on down beats. Okay. Now, that first line is simple enough, and we're going to have a little bit of repeating whenever we go to the next line. The first two measures here look like the first two measures of the song. And as we go to measure 9, we've got this little lick. Now, I played a 4th fret there on my G string, on the 3rd string. Now, if you are paying attention, maybe you would say, hey, that's the same note as your open 2nd string. And indeed it is. We get the same note by fretting our 3rd string on the 4th fret as we do playing our 2nd string open. So why would I use a 4th fret here instead of this? Well, a couple of reasons. One is there is an actual little tonal difference. Here, I'll play it closed first. Verses. You hear the difference? In fact, we have some overtones ringing if we use the open string. Sometimes I may not want that note ringing out, so I'm choose to fret it on the 4th fret to be able to control those overtones. The other part of it is when you're playing really, really fast, it's easier to do it this way and to have less string switching than if you were to play your open 2nd string. So that's why I've written it like this. Because you may want to go as fast as you can. That whole line sounds like this. Now that's one time through an A part. That's 8 measures. We're going to do that again, except we're going to change it up just a little bit. And the main thing that I'm going to do is make it a bit more complex by playing less quarter notes and filling those in with 8th notes and introducing some notes that aren't in that G major scale. That's what we see in measure 11. Look at the first beat. Doesn't that sound that sounds like something you would hear in the near Mid-East, doesn't it? So we're going to borrow from another scale for that 2nd fret. Don't worry about the theory behind it. Just play it and enjoy its sound. So we have a whole lot of 8th notes happening in a row, don't we? A lot of string switching too, so work on those pick strokes. A lot of times people complain about not being able to gain speed, and I wonder, they ask me why, and it's because they're trying to get maybe 2 downs or 2 ups in a row, and you're cutting your speed in half instead of alternate picking, taking advantage of the physics there. Measure 13. Then another little pickup beat on the end of 14. Okay, the whole line sounds like this. lick using our 4th fret, but we're going to change it up a little bit. The first one sounded like this, and this one sounds like this. So we're using all the same frets, we're just mixing up the order there. So that whole line. So those are our 2 A parts. And at this point, we're going to jump into the B part, which has a little different chord progression and, of course, a little different melody, too. It gets a little bit more bluesy and a whole lot more fun. If you're watching somewhere else beside banjobenclark.com, you can come over to the website. Join as a Gold Peak member, have access to hundreds, I'm talking about hundreds of lessons for banjo, guitar, and mandolin, including this full lesson, along with the tabs and the MP3s. I'd love to have you on board.